What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So the season 3 marketing continues. We are now around a week and a half away. So this week is going to be very big. We're going to get the roadmap. We're going to get all the trailers. We're going to get all of the details on the battle pass, the operators, the weapons, and they have already started. So today, earlier this morning, they posted the Verdansk intel drop. So this was a 2-minute long video covering pretty much all the details you need to know about Verdansk, an early in-game look at what the new version of it looks like and what changes they pretty much have made. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and roll the clip for you guys, and then we're gonna dissect it and go over some things that you may have missed.
Verdansk is back. It's rebuilt from the ground up to recapture the original Battle Royale experience, but now it has stunning new textures, improved visuals. We tried to create a more immersive play space. Every building, every road, every detail has been carefully refined to create the most incredible Warzone experience yet. When we started our journey to bring back Verdansk, we really wanted to keep this nostalgic feeling while also upgrading it with new technology.
New technology that allow us better quality, better rendering.
The grass, the bushes, the trees. It's way more complex now than what we've seen in the past. To allow that in the whole map, covering area with high grass, low grass, mud, all of this is really a new tech.
We've rebuilt the global lighting ambience to achieve a more realistic effect while preserving the nostalgic feel.
It includes a new high-resolution sky.
It improved the bounces, the reflections, improved light map quality and accuracy, and a better transition between interior and exteriors.
With that technology, we've been able to do a lot more with the depth, backlighting, and shadows through the map.
For example, the prison, it's a bit gloomy, but the new tech helps us balance to have this creepy vibe, to still have visibility. The materials have been reworked so they react better with lighting and the reflections are better. So everything just feels more grounded, more natural.
The recreation of Verdansk has been a collaboration across Linux, Raven, and Hyman Studios, with each team sparing no detail to ensure this experience is faithful to Infinity Ward's original design. It's the iconic Verdansk map you remember, brought to life with more detail, higher definitions, with the best technology available today to ensure it's better than ever. Grab your friends and get ready to drop back in.
Now, the clip that you just watched was 2 minutes long. There was actually another version that they posted, which was 20 seconds longer. They ended up quickly removing the video, deleting that 20 seconds off of it, and then re-uploading it. So we actually got footage of what that 20 seconds is, and I'm gonna go ahead and play that for you guys so you can see it right now. So they mentioned some brand new features and changes that they implemented into Verdansk that they did not previously add. Now, one thing we can agree on with the original Verdansk is a lot of the open terrain didn't have much cover to it. In these areas, you needed smoke grenades in order to survive, especially if the zone pulled in that direction and you were out in the open, you were going to be a free target. So I guess what they decided to do here is not leave it in the original form that they did before, but they actually went ahead and added different types of cover. You'll notice here there's flipped vehicles, burned down cars. There's also like cinder blocks that you can hide, roadblocks that you can cover behind, and they added a whole bunch of these to sort of give you cover so that way you're not out in the open when you're in these areas. And I guess that's something that not people were very happy about, because over on Facebook they left that post up and a lot of people were sitting there like, why didn't you do a 1-to-1 remake? Why didn't you keep it like the OG Verdansk? And it seemed like that wasn't something people were proud of. So that farmlands area at the moment, this is one of the only areas it seems like they did update, but since they ended up removing that 20-second long clip, I don't know if this is something that they're going to revert the changes for. Do you think they're going to go back and leave it in the original way? It could be changes that they are going to keep in the game. They just didn't want to announce it within this intel drop because all of the hype and the nostalgia is bringing Verdansk back to the original 1-to-1 redesign that it was, versus what we ended up getting is now some new added changes to it. And that's typically what sort of ruins Warzone when they try to get creative and add things that people didn't ask for. So let me know in the comments below, is this something that you would be happy with, a new change that you think would help the gameplay? But let's go back and dive into that 2-minute video and break down what we have seen and what changes they have made to them. So first off, you'll notice here from this flyover, the lighting is completely different. It's more bright. The saturation is turned up. It doesn't have that orangish yellowish hue that we saw with Verdansk. So there are some areas, like for example, Verdansk would have areas that are super bright and then super dark in the original. It looks like they have evened all of that out, even in the shadowed areas. So that's the first thing you'll notice. Now, another thing is we do have ascenders. You'll notice from the building on the left side that there is an ascender right there for the building to make it easy for you to get straight to the very top. Now, these are available in many different locations, which I did notice. But another thing is in this frame here, you'll notice that there is water. Now, remember, the swimming feature is not a thing on Verdansk. There's only swimming towards the bottom. So this coastal bottom area is the only type of spot that you'll actually be able to swim. Maybe it is going to be out of bounds, very similar to, like, say, for example, Rebirth Island, where you can get in the water, but once you reach a certain distance, it's going to be considered out of the map and then it'll eliminate you. So that's what I believe it's going to be here for. Maybe if people wanted to land, they don't die right away. And then they also rebuilt everything from the ground up, as they mentioned here. So everything looks one-to-one, but you have to remember that this is not a copy and paste. They have to actually redesign and remake this for the brand new engine. Fortunately enough, it is still one-to-one. Now, I don't really notice much differences other than the lighting itself. Maybe the textures obviously are a little bit different because they're using different renders. From what they're saying, there's things like, for example, low grass and mud. And something else you'll notice is the water. So there's really no water, even though on the map it sort of signifies that there's going to be riverbeds, and people were thinking that maybe you're going to be able to swim in them. But then when you look at it here in this in-game footage, you'll see that there is no possible way that you can swim. So for those of you guys who didn't like the swimming feature, you don't have to worry. It's not going to be here and you don't have to deal with it. But they go back and talk about the global lighting, which is the biggest thing that you do notice. You also see it from the dam. Every area is seemingly much brighter, even the shadowed parts of the map. So for example, those skins like Rose that originally would be able to hide in the shadows and eliminate players because people wouldn't be able to see them. And then once again, as I mentioned, the ascenders are available. You'll even notice one here at the stadium, which is right there in the center. And then once again, going back to that topic where we talked about cover, you'll see that there is like cinder blocks there that you can hide behind. So once again, providing cover that we previously did not have. And then the next frame goes over that little bit of water. Once again, you're not even going to be able to swim through that, so you don't have to worry about it. And then they go back, showcase another ascender right there at the very top. The remake of Scrapyard here, they mentioned that the transition between inside and outside is not going to be blinding. So you're not going to walk into a building. It's going to be super dark, and then you walk out and then you get blinded by the sun. And then an example of that, if you look at the Gulag showers, you'll notice that it is a little bit brighter than what it previously was. It used to be super dark in there, and they sort of turned that up. And then at the same time, they kept the creepiness to it according to them. But the one thing that I really did notice is that when the developers were working on these maps, I noticed that they actually had the old main menu. So that's one thing that I noticed here. If you pause it, you'll see that it gives you 3 different messages, and it's just the simple stuff like the OG legendary box, the contract tablet, and streak tablets once again being showcased here. Now, what's very interesting about this is they didn't really show vehicles all too much. You'll notice that there weren't any redeploy balloons, so the movement is mainly going to focus on the vehicles. The train as well was not shown or revealed. We did see the train station. They mentioned the interior for that will be closed, but you can't really tell because obviously they don't show inside of it, and they didn't give us much of a look on it. But based on what we're seeing right here, what are your thoughts and opinions on Verdansk? Do you think this is now the map that is going to officially save Call of Duty if Call of Duty does everything else right? For example, the anti-cheat, the situations with all the bugs and the crashing. Do you think this will be a way for Call of Duty to revive Warzone to the state that it used to be at? But hopefully you guys are excited for it. We have a lot more marketing coming out in these next upcoming days, and I'll be covering that for you guys. So that's all that I got for you guys in this one. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys again. Peace.